Hey, what's happening? Brett Miller, Choppin Ain't Easy. Right now, Brady and I just got to Milwaukee. We're going to go to the Drag Specialty Show tomorrow and Sunday and try to make chopping a little easier by finding the proper parts. So check it out. We are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now at the Drag Specialties NVP Show, checking out new products, trying to make chopping a little bit easier. So check it out. We're going to check out the Saddlemen booth. Everybody is well aware of Saddlemen's amazing seats. I'm going to show you they got a lot more to offer than just those seats. They've got a bunch of new carbon fiber parts they're making in-house with their own autoclave. So let's check it out. Yeah, check all this out. You know, obviously they're known for their seats, thus the name, Saddlemen. And now, you know, 39 millimeter top caps, fender struts for an FXR, side covers, you know, rear fenders on a touring bike. Something that they're actually not selling because like 4 nerds like me would buy. But check this out. Running the RCS. And they still have the switches on there. 3D printed this back plate so that they can still use the Harley Davidson switches and that little cover with the Brembo. Pretty amazeballs. And of course, carbon front fender, carbon side covers, carbon rear fender. So yeah, this thing's chain drive. This thing's pretty sick. They're telling me that it's actually got the motor. This is a Street Bob with a lowrider tank on it, but it's got the engine out of one of their race bikes in it. So it's apparently like a 131, something super nasty in there. They made that exhaust in-house. It's pretty cool. I was talking to the owner and talking to him about my idea for hardware. He says it's still actually on his desk out in California and they're thinking about using it. So that's kind of cool. And one thing people have asked me about is we've sold a couple of these fairings. Is anybody going to make a taller windshield for it? I happened to walk over here while Brian Clock was standing there looking at that fairing, and so I just said to him, "You making a windshield for this thing?" And he kind of looked at me and he says, "Well, there's a possibility." So you may be able to get a taller windshield for your Saddlemen fairing at some point from Clockworks. That'd be pretty rad. Well, it is Sunday in Milwaukee and they just finished up the Drag Specialties show. So Brady and I are heading back to the hotel. Since we are in Milwaukee, we are staying one more day and we're gonna go to the Harley Davidson Museum tomorrow and check that out. So that should be pretty rad, but we saw a lot of cool parts, talked to a lot of different people in the industry. We are finding out more things to make chopping easier for you. So that is our goal, actually, to make it more easy for us, but you know, I'll tell you it's for you. All right, man, check out the museum. Hey, what's happening? Brady and I are checking out downtown Milwaukee. Some really cool architecture you can see in the background here. We're right on the river. Some gentlemen out there fishing. I don't know if you can see those cats, but just some really cool old buildings, really neat architecture. Scoping it out. I think we're gonna walk along the river here. I was telling them there was a pretty cool neighborhood just to the, I believe, the south of where we're at right now. So we'll keep filming. I want to talk about some amazing architecture. Look at this thing. It is pretty freaking spectacular. They do not build things like this anymore. Denver is too new of a city probably to have buildings like this. Got a little more zoom going here. Man, this thing is so wild looking. It's like something out of a freaking movie. Well, Brady and I walked over from the hotel to the Harley Davidson Museum. We got here a little early. They've got a reproduction of the old first shed back there. So we're just gonna kind of take a look around, see what they got going. They don't open for a while yet. Just kind of check things out. Big ass statue that's outside of the museum. Most people have seen pictures of that. Looks like they put it up in 2008. I'm not sure that might correspond with this museum actually coming here, because this is not amongst all the old Harley Davidson buildings, but this is a pretty cool looking place. We're kind of excited to go in and check it out. Basically bicycles with motors on them. Pretty amazing. But still a lot of pinstriping, bud. Oh yeah. You see the little placards up on the front showing, you know, the year that these models were on the front fender. See, they even had belt drive back then. Another spoked wheel basically on the back. Now it's an opposed twin. Instead of a V-twin. That's kind of crazy. Now they're starting to get a little bigger down here. The 20s and 30s. A little more what you're used to seeing. Still a lot going on. The foot clutch. Jockey shift. Ooh, that paint job over there is pretty neat. The black and the green. A lot of green ones. Now you get into a little more colors here. Flathead race bike, no front brake. Display for their board track racers. Those guys were nutty. $19.23. As you will notice on this race bike, it has 4 valves per cylinder. So, apparently the Milwaukee 8 is not new technology to Harley Davidson. Although, take a look at those little springs inside that front end. Yeah, that ought to be enough suspension for you when you're going fast. Got a display for the hill climbs. which is something people still do. They just don't do them on bikes like this. This guy's had huge stones. Oh yeah, chains on the tire, that should work out just fine. I'm thinking perhaps when they actually went up the hills, the paint jobs weren't quite as nice as these. That's a cool little tank though. Is that like the first Frisco tank up there? I'm not sure. This is one of the things I wanted to see. I kind of like taking new bikes and putting older paint jobs on it. So I think some of the older paint jobs were super rad. If the AMF days did anything, it gave rad paint jobs. I don't know that the engineering was remarkable. That orange is really quite cool. '90s bad boy paint job. That's pretty rad. That one there, I would say, is actually an FXR paint job. I know these are all like these half Softail tanks because that's what works to put them up on the wall. But
oh yeah,
I think that paint job was on an FXR.
I think you're
Vivid black and charcoal up there on that one's pretty amazing too. But this one is burgundy and red. Well, I don't know if we're making things like Choppin any easier by being here at the Harley Museum, but we are sure learning a lot of cool stuff, getting very inspired by all these different paint jobs on the wall. We're gonna get some close-ups of some of these so you can check them out, some of our more favorite ones. It's a pretty cool place. If you get the chance, if you're out in Milwaukee, which Brady and I were just talking at lunch about how amazing of a city this is and all the cool architecture and stuff like that. So if you get a chance to come here, you know, in the summertime, I would imagine, you should check it out. You should check out the Harley Museum.